Alright guys, today we're talking about one of the most unforgettable playoff runs in NBA history, the 2019 NBA playoffs. So this wasn't just basketball, this was cinema. You had Kawhi Leonard hitting the most famous shot in Raptors history, Giannis's MVP season meeting a wall, the Warriors dynasty falling apart before our eyes, and Drake basically acting like the Raptors' sixth man. It was chaotic, emotional, and historic. So let's break it down step by step. Heading into 2019, the NBA felt lopsided. The Golden State Warriors were going for their fifth straight finals and their third straight championship. They'd already proven they were unfair. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and oh yeah, Kevin Durant, who had joined them in 2016. Every team basically had the same strategy. Let's hope the Warriors get injured or distracted. Spoiler, that actually happened. But here's the twist. Out east, for the first time in nearly a decade, there was no LeBron James. He had packed his bags for Los Angeles, which meant the East was finally open. For the first time in 8 years, a new team was going to the finals, and the big names, the Milwaukee Bucks with MVP Giannis, the Philadelphia 76ers with Embiid, Simmons, and Jimmy Butler, the Boston Celtics with Kyrie Irving, and the Toronto Raptors, who had just taken the biggest gamble in their franchise history, trading DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. The Raptors had never even been to the finals. This was championship or bust. The Raptors opened against the Orlando Magic. Now, if you follow Toronto basketball, you know game ones are cursed. And sure enough, DJ Augustin hit a dagger 3 in game 1. Orlando stole the opener, and Raptors fans were immediately like, here we go again. But Kawhi shut all that down. Game 2, he dropped 37 points. Then Siakam had his breakout, Van Vliet found his rhythm, and Toronto rattled off 4 straight wins. For once, the Raptors weren't folding. Meanwhile, the Warriors faced the Los Angeles Clippers. No stars, no expectations, just grit and dogs like Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, and Montrezl Harrell. And in Game 2, the impossible happened. The Clippers came back from 31 points down, the largest comeback in playoff history, in Oracle Arena against the defending champs. Lou Will was frying everyone, Pat Bev was in KD's face, and Steve Ballmer was probably doing jumping jacks in his luxury box. KD wasn't having it though. He reminded everyone who he was. Game 6, he dropped 50 points to shut the Clippers down. Afterward, he literally told the media, "I'm Kevin Durant. Y'all know who I am." Savage, Warriors in 6, Dynasty still alive, second round Raptors versus Philadelphia 76ers. This was the definition of a heavyweight battle. On paper, Philly was stacked. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris. The Raptors had Kawhi, Lowry, Siakam, Gasol, and Van Vliet. It was 2 elite defenses, 2 desperate fan bases, and 1 superstar determined to prove he was the best player in the league. Game 1, Kawhi goes for 45 points, unstoppable. Game 2, Jimmy Butler bounces back, Sixers steal 1 in Toronto. Game 3, Kawhi again, 33 points. Game 4, Sixers tie it. Back and forth, nobody blinking. Game 5, Raptors blow Philly out. Game 6, Jimmy Butler forces a Game 7. And then history. Game 7 in Toronto, tie game, 4.2 seconds left. Kawhi gets it, dribbles right. Embiid contest, fadeaway corner jumper, clank, bounce, 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 bounce. And then it drops. The first Game 7 buzzer beater in NBA history. The crowd went nuclear. Kawhi squatted, staring at the ball like he was holding his breath. Embiid walked off crying in the tunnel. That shot didn't just win a game, it changed the Raptors' destiny. Out west, the Warriors were in their own battle against the Houston Rockets. This was the rivalry of the time. Harden was playing at MVP level, Chris Paul was desperate for revenge after 2018, and the Rockets had built their whole roster to stop Golden State. The series was brutal. Every game was close, and then in Game 5, disaster struck. KD pulled up for a jumper, grabbed his calf, and limped off. Everyone thought Achilles. The Warriors called it a calf strain, but the damage was done. Steph and Klay had to step up, and boy did they. In Game 6, Steph scored 33 points in the second half after being scoreless in the first. Klay hit dagger after dagger. The Warriors eliminated Houston again. James Harden looked exhausted. Chris Paul looked like he aged 5 years. Rockets fan, well, they're probably still mad. In the Eastern Conference Finals, it was the Raptors versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks were the #1 seed. Giannis had just won MVP. They were supposed to be the team of the future. And at first, they looked unbeatable. Milwaukee won the first 2 games. Giannis was dunking everything. Chris Middleton was cooking. The Raptors looked overwhelmed. But then came Game 3, double overtime. Kawhi scored 36 points and locked Giannis down. From that moment on, Kawhi built a wall, and literally, Toronto shut down the paint, forced Giannis into jumpers, and the Bucks fell apart. Toronto won 4 straight games. Kawhi averaged 29 and 9, plus elite defense. He outplayed the MVP and carried Toronto to their first ever finals. Drake was out here giving Nick Nurse shoulder rubs mid-game, trolling Giannis's family, and basically acting like the Raptors' sideline mascot. Honestly, dude might deserve a ring. Over in the West, the Warriors met the Portland Trail Blazers. Dame and CJ had just knocked out Denver, and Dame had already hit the shot of the playoffs against OKC, waving goodbye to Westbrook from 30 feet out. But Portland didn't stand a chance. Golden State swept them 4-0. But here's the thing, every game was close. Portland led by double digits in 3 of them. The Warriors just flipped the switch every time. Steph averaged 36 points a game. Draymond averaged a triple-double. It felt like Golden State was reminding everyone, hey, even without KD, we're still nasty. 5 straight finals, the last team to do that? The 1960s Celtics. That's how crazy this run was. And now, the grand finale. Raptors versus Warriors. David versus Goliath. Game 1, Pascal Siakam goes off for 32 points on 14 of 17 shooting. Raptors shock the world, take a 1-0 lead. Game 2, Warriors respond. Clay scores 25, Draymond nearly triple doubles, and they steal one in Toronto, 1-1. Game 3, back in Oracle. Clay's out, KD's still out. Steph drops 47 points, absolute masterpiece, but it wasn't enough. Raptors win 2-1. Game 4, Kawhi drops 36, Ibaka chips in 20, Raptors win again, 3-1. Suddenly the Warriors dynasty is on the ropes. Game 5, KD returns, and for 11 minutes he looks unstoppable. He hits 3 threes, he's cooking, and then tragedy. KD tears his Achilles, just brutal. Everyone knew what that meant, but somehow the Warriors hold on. Steph and Clay combine for 57, Warriors win, force Game 6. Game 6, Oracle's last ever game, Clay's on fire, 30 points through 3 quarters, then on a fast break dunk, he lands wrong, tears his ACL. Clay still walks back out, sinks 2 free throws on one leg and tries to come back into the game before the trainers stop him. Pure legend, but that was it. Raptors closed it out. Lowry scored 26, Van Vliet hit daggers, Kawhi finished with 22, final score 114-110. The Raptors were NBA champions. For the first time ever, the championship went to Canada. That finals didn't just crown the Raptors, it ended the Warriors dynasty. KD left that summer for Brooklyn, Clay missed a year, Steph got hurt. In one summer, the most dominant team of the decade collapsed. And the Raptors? Kawhi left for the Clippers, but it didn't matter. That 1 year, that one run, that one shot gave them eternal glory. So when you look back, the 2019 playoffs gave us Kawhi's buzzer beater, the most iconic shot in Raptors history, Giannis's first real heartbreak, Harden and CP3's last stand, KD and Clay's devastating injuries, and the end of the Warriors dynasty. It was the most dramatic playoffs of the decade, and that's the story of the 2019 NBA playoffs. The year the boardman got paid, the Warriors dynasty crumbled, and Toronto finally got its parade. What do you guys think was the wildest moment of 2019? Kawhi's shot, KD's injury, or Drake acting like he was going to check in during Game 6? Drop your thoughts in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.